Hi guys, Judy Fine here from Online with Judy Fine. I apologize for morning voice and morning face. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. Still drinking my first cup of coffee to try to feel awake. I had to get up for other reasons, but I decided I would use this extra time I have this morning to take you guys through another songwriting with beats journey, I guess. So if you didn't see my other videos, there are 2 others from a while back that you can check out. This is for anybody who either is already writing songs but would like to really hone their craft. It's also a good method for anybody who wants to do songwriting but doesn't really have instrument skills or doesn't have advanced instrument skills, right? Because if you're writing to guitar but you only know 3 chords, all of your songs are going to have 3 chords. So this is a way of sort of expanding what you do. So if you fit into either of those categories, you should check this out. Beat songwriting is a great tool for growing your lyric writing and melody writing skills. There was a time when I had a pretty decent home recording studio set up. Was not professional, but it was good. I had Digital Performer, which I loved. Lots of people use Logic, but I was a fan of Digital Performer. And I just had pretty decent gear that I spent small chunks of change on. Over the years, as I moved around, little by little, I had to sell that stuff. And now I live in an RV. So pretty much all I have now is my stage mic. And the only other piece of gear, I guess you could say I have, or technology, is that I use the Adobe Photoshop suite for my business. And in that suite, there is a program called Audition that is nowhere near Digital Performer quality, but it's functional and I use it. And since I'm always telling other people that you shouldn't let a lack of technology or gear stop you from moving forward and stop you from putting yourself out there, I started a playlist that you may or may not have seen, but you can check it out, called Original Music Video Challenges. And every so often I create a music video, I write a song for it, and I use footage from our travels. So for this video, to just talk you through how you can use beats to work on your songwriting skills, I'm just going to take you through that process. This is footage that I took of us visiting a place called Strasburg Railroad in Lancaster County, PA. And the train is like this old, restored, really cool train. You'll see more of it later. So it just takes you out a little bit and then back. It's like a 45-minute ride. It's not a huge deal. So I put together the films in the order of the trip, basically. So that's the place. We're getting ready to go on the train. That's the train. And then we go inside. So I just put the video footage together for about 3.5 minutes, something around there. And then just tried to just see what I had. And as I looked at this, I saw 2 things, right? Going for a ride and kind of going back in time were the 2 ideas that are sort of in my head, and that will probably end up being in the lyrics. Okay, so once I have the video footage, what I do is I go to sfrbeats.com. Now, this is one Beats website. You can Google and find more. Basically, you can go through all the you can search things different ways, genres or whatever, see what the latest stuff is. Once you pick something, you can see over here, this is one you can lease for $33. If you do an exclusive, nobody else can use the beat. And if you pick one that's a lease, other people can also lease it, but it's much cheaper. I went through a bunch of different things and I landed on this one that I just felt kind of drawn to. I don't know why I chose it. So I did lease this beat. Once you decide on the music that you're going to use, you have to analyze the structure of it so that you can write lyrics that fit it, obviously. So the thing about this particular beat is that it's very repetitive. And then later, it's still doing the same thing. Where is it? But these voices come in. So that is a signal that that's a different section. And so you should try to do something different. Even if it's a repetitive chord progression, try to do something different there. the voices drop out. And then they come back in. So from the first time you hear those voices to the last time you hear those voices after that brief dropout, that's a section. And then it has this lead line, which I wouldn't want my voice to compete with. So I consider this a time when I will not be singing. And then it goes back to the opening theme, which I would consider to be a second verse. This one actually has a part that I would consider a bridge. So this part's different from everything we've heard before. And then it goes into the section that has those voices again. So I'm already hearing that there's kind of a verse, chorus, instrumental lead, verse, chorus, instrumental lead, bridge, chorus. So that's what I have to keep in mind when I'm writing the lyrics. In that bridge, there were some kind of rhythmic things going on, and I want to make sure whatever lyrics I write, I can be a part of that rhythmic thing and sing with the music. That's why this is such a good exercise, because the music exists and you have to come up with a solution lyric-wise and melody-wise that fits the music. So here are my lyrics. Not gonna lie, I'm not feeling super attached to these lyrics. There are other songs in the original music video playlist that I feel more artistic attachment to, but these will work, I think, as this exercise. So it ended up being, like I said, with this idea of going for a ride and going back in time. And it ended up, showing signs of me getting older and wanting to remember how I felt when I was younger, the dreams I had when I was younger, that sort of thing. I started with this one idea. This here is a new idea, a new melody. It starts a lot higher. The music is still doing the same thing at this point, but I have changed it, made it seem like a new section by changing how I'm singing it. The way I decided to do this and how to do it is I played the music over and over and over again, and I tried singing things to it. And this is sort of how it came out. So you can't always wait for the music to change. Sometimes you just have to change the melody and the speed at which you're delivering the words or the notes that you come in on or whatever. And that's what I did. You'll hear that. When the voices come in, I heard this sort of da-dee-da kind of thing. I can't be sure at this stage how it'll come out. It'll turn into something through trying things when I'm recording. So dee-da-da, and then it repeats this first line. So then the second verse is the same. So this section is basically the same as this one. So that's a second verse. And then same thing here, this I believe all the way to let's go back in time. I changed the first line, but otherwise it's basically the same. So it's a chorus with slightly different words. Then this is like the bridge here. This second line is really the bulk of the bridge. This first one I sort of heard, I wanted something that would be similar to the background voices. I don't know that with my equipment and my setup that I'll be able to really copy that, but I'll do some version of it with maybe extra reverb or a different kind of reverb or something. This sort of meat of the bridge here, there were so many interesting musical things going on that I found myself not wanting to cover up too much of it with words. So I picked words that could just go with the rhythmic parts that I described to you. So you'll have to just hear what I'm talking about later. And then a double chorus and out. And I sort of end with some da-dee-da. So those are the lyrics. So next up, recording. Okay, I'm back. It's a little after 8 o'clock. You can see it's light out. I took a shower to try to get rid of my morning voice. I'm not sure if that worked, but here we are. So let me just show you really quickly what I did to record the vocals. Okay, so this isn't going to be a tutorial on how to use digital recording software, but just to tell you the basic approach I took. I don't necessarily recommend doing it this quickly. Take a couple of days, but for the sake of this video, I'm just cranking it out. So what I did was this green track here is the beat. I just turned the recording on and sang vocals 5 times in a row. After that, I stopped and I listened, and I decided that track 5 was the best overall. There were lots of things I didn't like about it though, and some of my dee-da-da experiments, went awry. So what I did was, whenever I came to a point in this track where I wanted something different or better, I would listen to the other tracks and see if something I did in a previous performance was better than that one. And I just cut it out and I added it to this clip. This looks like one continuous recording because I merged all the clips, but it wasn't. All these places where you see holes in the other performances are places where I took something and added it to this track. Doing this process helped me figure out how I wanted to sing the song, and what would be ideal is for me to sit with that for a while, maybe make a recording and kind of listen to it and sing along. And then when I have a better sense, like the song is more in my bones, I would do the vocals again. But for the sake of this video, I'm not going to do that. So that's how I recorded the vocals. Then I mixed down these 2 tracks together, and I put a little just studio reverb that's like a preset in my program, and I'm sure your program has something similar, whatever you're using. And then I added it to Premiere Pro to the video. Okay, so here I am back in Premiere. The green track at the bottom is the mix down that I just made from Audition. These pink things up here are the lyrics, because I like to put the lyrics in my videos. I don't know why, it's just a thing I do. I also added these little echoey vocals, which you'll hear in the final product in a few minutes. I should have done this in Audition, but I didn't. I do recommend that you challenge yourself in this way. It's really a lot of fun, and the stakes aren't very high, so you can just kind of do whatever. But I don't recommend that you do it quite as quickly as I did. Like, challenge yourself to finish it in a 24-hour period or a weekend or something like that. It's better to write lyrics and leave them, even if it's just for a couple of hours, and then come back to them with fresh eyes. It's better to record the vocals and come back in a couple hours with fresh ears. I also don't recommend recording vocals in the morning. But I do recommend the process. You can just explore beats and see if something grabs you, and then decide whether or not you're going to try something like this. They're super fun. All right, I'm going to render the video now. Don't forget to check out onlinewithjudyfine.com if you're in the market for honing your singing chops, especially if you like the DIY track, because I have a great membership program for vocal development. Check it out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Don't know what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing fine. I miss the days of doing with the heart of a child. Don't know where I'm going, but I'm up for the ride. It's only when I'm going I feel alive. I believe there are sights still yet to see. Let's go for a ride. I wanna follow the little girl in me. Let's go back in time. Oh yeah. I believe there are sights still yet to see. Let's go for a ride. Let's go back in time. Jaded, and I guess that's alright. Miss the days when everything seemed in front of my eyes. The little girl had faded, but somehow she survived, and I'm not gonna let her down again. There are so many different ways to be. Let's give some a try. I wanna follow the little girl in me. Let's go back in time. There are time.